This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and this film is one hell of a trash trip. Lady Street Fighter is an action film from 1977 directed by James Bryan that follows Linda, a lady cop whose twin sister, who looks nothing like her, is murdered by a gang looking for documents that could collapse their empire, I think. Anyways, Linda mostly has revenge on her mind, I think, and plans to track down the people responsible, uncovering, well, there's no bigger conspiracy really. I think everybody just wants the files. There's also an FBI guy she works with and falls in love with who ends up trying to kill her too, and, what else? Okay, the whole story is a complete mess, really. I mean, all things considered, there is a story at least, and things do actually happen. But anything that does happen almost seems accidental, as if the filmmakers took notes on things that happen in action movies, or where scenes should be taking place, or even what kind of characters might be in these films, and tried to check them off one by one. In retrospect, it's not as confusing a story as it could be, or as in other movies that I've seen. Since again, there is an actual plotline going on between Linda's vengeance and her search for the secret documents and those who are out to get her. But it's a story that almost feels like it was easily distracted by something which otherwise would have been a short scene to segue between story moments, but instead got so fleshed out in the writing that it became the actual story. It doesn't help that these distractions are often the weirdest parts of the film, partially because of what actually occurs, and mostly because of, again, how they offer nothing important once it's all said and done. They really feel more like an opportunity for the leading star, Renee Harmon, to strut her stuff, which isn't really all too much since her acting skills are hampered by their complete absence. Thankfully, the rest of the cast has the same handicap, with some wavering towards overacting and others towards underacting. Though either way, I would imagine that any competency they do have is overshadowed by the weak scripting. The rest of the film's production value is much more familiar to me, in that it's pretty obvious that they had little to no budget and shot the movie in hotels or public areas. Probably getting in and out with one or two takes just in case there might have been a few cops there to enforce any permit laws or something. There's even one sequence that's clearly shot in a theme park with people in the background watching in confusion or surprise or both. Speaking of camera work, the visuals of the film are as bland and cramped as you might expect for this sort of production, doing whatever it takes to avoid the crew appearing in the shot. Cinematography as a whole rarely does anything impressive, and anything that does seem to be a smart decision seems to have been made just because it looked cool. Audio is just as incompetent, with enough effort done to get synchronous sound, but little more than any of that. The action stunts and special effects are also pretty clearly done on the cheap, the most egregious probably being a large building fire. That's obviously no more than a model made out of plaster or cardboard. There are a lot of day for night shots as well, though if they actually worked out, I wouldn't be bringing them up. Overall, the production is as poorly handled as the story itself, it seems, and ultimately the only thing that keeps either of them from falling apart seems to be the sheer force of will from anybody involved in this film. Lady Street Fighter, James Bryan, 1977. 1.5 stars. I wouldn't recommend seeing it any time out of trash night, if you have one of those. That's it for me. If you like this review, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I honestly wouldn't have minded if the movie were just an excuse for everybody to pretend that they were action stars. It's really more in how they tried to make it have a point that's throwing me off here.